team. What's the atmosphere like this year, do you think?
Well, I think there's the beginning signs of some exuberance, but I think the exuberance has really come from almost an atmosphere of relief, where people are starting to come to the realization that the headwinds of the past several months aren't actually lethal. Whether it's Brexit, the Trump election, the upcoming French elections, the Italian referendum, people are coming to understand that it might not be the end of the world and are starting to focus on what do I do if it's not the end of the world, and they're getting that euphoria that comes from being through a life event that you thought might actually radically change your future and starting to adjust to sort of whatever the next new normal is.
Obviously there's a huge amount of political uncertainty across Europe at the moment, and you've got the kind of Europe-wide view. You're starting with the UK. Article 50 could be triggered this week, if not the next couple of weeks. From an investor's perspective, is that concerning?
Yeah, I think it is. But it's also opportunity. I think the way we think about it, we're middle market investors, when there's two-way traffic, when there's difference of opinion about what's going to happen in the political landscape, the economic landscape, it manifests itself in different bid-ask pricing changes on the ground, and that's good for our business. So, whether it's Brexit and what's going to happen, I don't know whether Article 50 is going to be enacted next week or next month. I don't know what the pathway to resolution of the UK's exit, and when I say the UK, is it England and Scotland? None of us know that, but we know that there's increasing and upcoming turbulence, and that does worry us because as an investor and a holder of investment assets, you have to worry about sort of what the performance is going to be, but it's also an opportunity too. It's an opportunity to sort of have a divergent view from what the masses might be in the short and intermediate term to the benefit for the benefit of our clients.
So you think there still are opportunities in the UK? Are your clients still quite enthusiastic about it, or are there other areas of Europe that are more interested?
I think our clients are optimistic about the prospects of the UK and continental Europe for very different reasons. I think when you look at it in the path of growth as compared to the other major markets of the world, if it wasn't for the potential stimulus package that's going to be perhaps instilled by President Trump, the US might feel like asset prices were full or fairly priced, and Europe doesn't feel that way. I think there are two things that still remain very interesting at the fundamental level for European real estate, and there's two major spreads. One's the spread between the cost of an impaired asset and the value that someone will pay you for a repaired asset in a market that's starved for duration and yield. So there's a real manufactured advantage for being an active asset manager that can create value on the ground and get very well paid for it. The second spread that's really interesting is the spread between what you can buy an asset for, the yield you can buy it for, and what you can finance it for on a long-term fixed rate basis. Those two spreads, those fundamentals are still attractive across Europe, and that's why our clients are still pretty happy to invest here.
So what are your intermediate concerns?
It's twofold. So when I talk to some of our US clients, even though we've been kind of at or ahead of pace in our deployment of capital, there's a general feeling that European managers aren't getting the capital out quick enough. So some foreign investors outside of Europe are saying, look, I don't know how much more capital I can allocate to Europe until everybody starts allocating and investing their capital a little bit more swiftly. So that's a concern because, despite how good or bad we think we might be, we still can't escape our family. So we are still going to be judged by how the whole industry does. That's one thing. I think the second thing is I look at where we are in the cycle and whether we think we're in the middle or not, or in the late innings. I look at opportunistic returns, and I look at 15% triple net returns, 15% real returns, and I think without above trend growth in rents and economic performance, or more friction in the industry, is it going to be possible? Are those sustainable in the intermediate term? Now, I'm sure some things will change where that will be the case, but that's why we've kind of advised our clients to sort of come down the risk spectrum a little bit. We're continuing to invest our opportunistic fund, but we're raising a lot more capital in the moderate risk, moderate return.
Can you talk a bit about what you're doing with your latest fund you've launched?
Yeah, so we have two fund series, our opportunistic series, European Property Investors, and our Core Plus series, Tristan Capital Partners. We are back out in the market with Tristan Capital Partners 5, our Core Plus fund, and we've changed our regular closed-end structure to a more perpetual structure, and that's been well met by our clients. We went out to raise January 1st, and here we are in mid-March, and we've got 800 million of the billion euros we're trying to raise already spoken for. We're going to a closing at the end of this month in March, so it's been very well met.
And you're well known for hosting one of the best parties at MIPIM. How do you balance that, find that balance between business and having fun?
We take our business very seriously, and we take ourselves far less so. So we've learned over time how to work hard and play hard. But really that party, it's our kind of quiet secret way to have everybody from the industry meet in our own backyard. It's great for the industry, it's great for fun, but it's actually good for our business and our clients too. Like, everyone comes to our house and talks. We're not doing a deal or something with everyone, but somehow subconsciously they know that they met in our backyard, and that can't be bad for us or our clients.
And what's the theme of your party this year?
This year it's a 70s theme. It's Austin Powers meets Soul Train. Should be interesting.
So have you got your outfit ready? Are you going to be
We'll see.
Powers?
We'll see. I won't be Austin Powers.